All right, please help me welcome our special guest for tonight, Allison Young. Allison, come on up.
Hi.
Okay, here we are.
I am so excited to be here.
Oh, well, thank you for coming. I was going to do a quick bio introduction of you for people who don't know you and for the listeners on the podcast. Okay, so just a quick thing. So you have a background as a world-renowned flutist and, yes, sought after, and a nationally syndicated classical radio host. And then a neurological condition and other circumstances beyond your control diverted you from both of those paths. And you sought out the natural world as a place to heal.
Yes.
And now you embrace life as a solo female, titanium reinforced, long distance backpacker and cancer thriver.
Oh, yeah.
Walking 12,000 miles to date on 6 continents.
Yeah. I walk every day.
Okay, so I want to start at the beginning. So you studied at...
I was born.
So she was born. And then there was the flute. Okay, so you excelled at the Cleveland Institute of Music.
Yeah, I think I did.
In the flute.
I did.
Yeah.
I think I excelled there. I had like summa cum laude.
Yeah, there was all
up
those
there.
things.
Magna,
Yeah,
summa.
yeah.
Which one's higher? Summa or summa?
Summa.
Yeah, I had summa.
Summa. I was sick the day we had Latin, so I don't know that part. Anyway, you became very, very skilled and proficient and became a very sought-after flutist around the world.
You know,
Big
I'm sitting
orchestras.
with a real flutist tonight, Emmanuel Davis, who teaches at the U. I know.
Wow, okay.
He plays still, right? So,
Okay.
So let's just make sure we're telling the truth,
Okay, all right. I also grew up playing the flute.
You did?
I
My
did.
sister played the flute.
Who didn't play the flute? You played the flute. Susan played the flute. Who else played the flute? Anybody? Okay. PKs, flutes, there's a lot of things. Because you're a PK.
Yeah, twice over.
Twice over.
Two dads.
Two dads. Okay, there you go. All right, so then you're recording albums, you're arranging flute concertos, you're doing solo gigs, you got the dress, you got the thing, you got the pictures, you got the thing on the covers of the thing.
I was so pretty back then, too.
I know.
You never appreciate that.
Say you don't.
You never appreciate
No.
what you had, right?
No, it's like we were going back to those messages we get. So you think you're prettier back then with your flute dresses on?
Well, I wrote this article recently. It was about regrets.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, no regrets, we're toughing this out, no regrets, I said, yes, regrets. Regrets are okay. Yeah. They can be good. They can help us because you look back at something and you regret that you didn't do whatever it was that you wanted to do then. And so you make sure you do it now, right? So you make sure you change.
So we learn.
You learn.
Yeah.
And the picture that I put up was this beautiful picture of me. I mean, I'm sorry, it's hard to say this, but you can't be egotistical
own
about
it. You should own that.
It's 40 years ago, okay?
I saw the picture. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
And you're thinking, what was wrong with me back then? I mean, I didn't know I was lovely, and I also didn't recognize that I was playing the flute and I could play that well.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a picture that a friend sent me recently of the Tanglewood Orchestra. So most of you know the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Their summer home is in Tanglewood. How many of you have seen the movie Maestro? The final scene that they have, which is really with Leonard Bernstein, is at this place where I was playing, Tanglewood Music Festival. They're all in white. That's what you would wear. And this friend of mine sent me this picture, and the orchestra's just spread out. It's all of us. I'm sitting first flute. I have all this like long, crazy hair, playing like here. And here's Leonard Bernstein conducting.
Yeah, wow. Wow, is that so
holy
cool?
cow.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a holy cow.
Yeah, holy cats is what I like to say. So I was at that level. I mean, I played that, and I played with the Boston Symphony. I played with all these orchestras. I recorded. I toured. And then one day, 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
You were in your late 30s?
Mid-30s. I picked up my flute to play, and I couldn't remember where to put my hands.
Yeah, scary.
Just for a second, though. I was like... And I turned to my best girlfriend was the second flutist, Melissa. Yeah. And I said, well, that's funny. I can't remember where to put my hands. And then it kind of disappeared. It went away. I remembered. But what was happening is I was developing a neurological movement disorder.
Yeah.
It's called dystonia. Some people call it musician's dystonia or focal dystonia. I mean, I can hold this microphone, I can write and stuff. But when my hands go on the flute, on the left hand, it doesn't remember what to do.
Yeah.
So, all of those years, it's with developing brain because you're an 8-year-old when you start to play the flute. And all those years of and you don't even think about it. Would be like, I can't remember how to stand up. I mean, it was.
Well, I'm sure you're thinking, this can't be
This
possible.
can't be.
I mean, you talk about how you tried all these treatments and physical therapy, and maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I'm just overly stressed. Of course,
not practicing hard enough.
Yeah, I'm not practicing hard enough. I'm not. And so you push. And why wouldn't we? But like, hey, I am a top flutist in the world. What do you mean I don't remember where to put my hands? And how devastating that must have been, because you finally walked away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of the treatments I have is Botox.
Yeah.
See how much younger I look, too? No, I'm just kidding. They stick it right into your hand, right into the affected limb.
I bet, sure.
And you have to do it over and over again. I didn't see enough of a difference. So there came a day when I had to say, that's it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, of course, I guess you're owning it, right? But there's this risk that you take of accepting or saying the thing.
Yeah.
Because when you take that risk, that means you are going to go into an unknown future.
Right.
You have
of course.
No idea what's
You're in
next.
your middle 30s. You're thinking, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
I mean, I knew I was going to marry my husband, who's sitting over there.
Okay.
So that was a good thing. I had something good.
Okay, good. That's good. You like that. You like that.
I had no idea what I was going to do for a living. I mean, there was a moment there where I thought, well, I suppose I could teach or I could, but when you can't play, you sort of, it all starts to get a little confusing.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Well, so, and then when you said you were looking for other fields, wasn't it a friend who said, well, you know classical music really well. Maybe you could be a classical radio announcer.
Well, actually, it was one of my preaching fathers.
One of the fathers, yeah.
He said, find everyone you know, and, this is the networking, and just talk to them and say, I don't know what to do right now. Do you have any ideas? Do you know anyone? I mean, just, obviously you could get with like a career counselor, but it was, and I had lunch with the president of Houston Public Media. We were living in Texas. And I was sitting with him in his office, John Prophet, and in walks the director of news. And she just, I recognize you, because I'd come in for interviews for flute stuff at the radio.
Sure. Right.
And she said, could you read this, please? And I said, I'm going to read this? Why? And then it's like, and chocolate, blah, 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 blah. I mean, maybe she just wanted to see if I was like literate. Yeah. I don't know what it was about. And it was like an audition. And they said, do you want to work here? And, this is great. So
you're like, what?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. So my first day of work as a radio host, they started me on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, seriously? Nobody is listening to classical music on Super Bowl Sunday. There were two. Well, that's good.
Well, there was the president of the station and my husband, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's two. That's two very important people.
And the first words that came out of my mouth were, a Prairie Home Companion will return. After.
Funny.
Yes.
Funny.
So you and I go
So maybe
way back.
I was there.
You might have been with me.
What year was that, dude? What year was it?
2005.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I started in 92 with those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you did that for a couple of years, and then you got hired. Did you get headhunted? You got hired by Minnesota Public Radio.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So it was a funny place. University of Houston is where the station was. And it was like this magical moment in radio, I think. It was before we were really getting into digital broadcasting and not so much on the internet yet. So people really relied on their one station for the classical music and for the classical shows.
Yeah.
And I went in, what I did was I hosted this Sunday afternoon when no one listened. And I had an internship in the newsroom, which was really, really fun.
Yeah,
I learned a lot
about
interviewing and producing music and stuff and doing all the kind of lining up of tracks and stuff like that. I learned everything I use today at Houston Public Media. And eventually, I was very glad I came here because they ended the entire classical station. I mean, it's like an online thing now. It's just gone. The show's gone. Everything's gone. So I was a little bit headhunted, and I came up here, and I was still pretty new.
Yeah.
And I worked for Minnesota Public Radio, 99.5 KSJN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, live streaming. I got it memorized, right?
So you worked for Minnesota Public Radio then for 13 years.
13 years, yes.
But in the meantime, you love hiking. You have since a kid.
Yes.
It was just something that you loved, and it fed you, and you thrived.
Well, I was
at
a preacher's kid twice over. Okay,
Yeah.
so you got to get out of the house a little bit sometimes, out of this world.
I'll go for a walk. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
You go
bye.
for a walk.
And I was
For 3 days. Okay, we'll see you later.
the youngest of, and there was all kinds of complications of remarriages and stuff. So I was the youngest of 5, and all boys, and they didn't want a girl around. So I did a lot of kind of adventure walking.
Yeah.
And I'd go off on my own. I mean, my earliest memory is looking down at my little toes. I would think, boy, these can take me places. Think of all the power we have.
Yeah.
You can get away, but you can go see stuff. And when you guys were talking about unexpected joy, that's exactly it, is you can go find it.
Yeah.
So walking was always a solace. And then I started doing more backpack trips.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to I would work solid. I'd work on the weekend so that I could get more vacation.
Yeah.
And then I would
these
take,
trips.
go, okay, I'm going to go 2 weeks and 3 weeks and 4. Can I extend it to 5 weeks at one time,
Yeah.
and
No,
do a
I
trip?
know.
And I fell in love with it. I mean, backpacking it's a big commitment. You're going out into nature like a hiker to see these amazingly beautiful things, but
Yes.
you're sleeping out there.
Right.
So you have to protect yourself from the creatures.
Right.
You have to bring your food,
Yeah.
And you deal with whatever weather comes. So it's
Well,
the
and
whole
what
thing.
was interesting to me, so tell us what a through hike
Through
is.
hike.
As opposed to just a backpacking trip for a week or a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So a through hike, that's like 4 or 5 months.
Not necessarily. So the Superior Hiking Trail is a full trail from Wisconsin. It's near Jay Cook State Park is where it starts. I mean, I guess if you're going north, and then ends at the Canadian border, 310 miles. And
that's all.
I mean, it's a long way, right? But you can hike it as a through hike, which means that you're doing it all at once,
Right.
and you're hiking through.
How long would that take?
Well, it took me 16 days.
Okay.
So
How long would it take me? 16 months.
do I have to answer that?
I like creature comforts.
It depends. Well, it's
Are there hotels every night?
There are. Well,
Okay.
not. I mean,
Okay.
yes.
No.
That's a great hike to do because it's on. Does everybody know what the Superior Hiking Trail is? It's on the North Shore.
We know the North Shore.
So it's very close
Yeah.
to civilization. I mean, if you consider like the North Shore to civilization, I guess it is.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, there's hotels, there's restaurants, and towns. But I camped out there, so there's campsites. And stuff. So that's a through hike.
Stringing together this journey that you're on.
Yeah, like get
and
to the point.
And the
Fast forward.
and the reinventing, and the reinventing and the remaking. So the flutist, who then becomes a classical music radio announcer. At one point, you wanted to try a through hike. You wanted to hike the length of New Zealand.
Yeah. So
And that would take months.
months.
Yeah.
So this whole kind of craziness, it just seemed natural. So I had hiked the John Muir Trail. It's a famous trail. It's not as far as the Superior Hiking Trail. It's 210 miles, but
Let's
it's
go.
But it's high altitude. It's the entire Sierras. I did that. It's thrilling. Some of the most beautiful countryside in the world. I hiked the Traverse of the Alps. It took me 4 weeks, 450 miles. I mean, it's a long distance. A lot of change of scenery, a lot of crazy French people, but it was good. It was good. So I had done these hikes, and I knew like Dystonia was such a leveler of all of the.
Yeah.
I don't know, the things you build up in yourself that you think, I'm going to live forever, right?
Right,
And everything's going to be the same forever.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not. Things can happen, and terrible things can happen that we don't expect, that we've never heard of. My great-grandmother and my grandmother and my mother all had breast cancer. I knew it was coming for me. And then there was arthritis. Everybody was having things replaced. And I thought, if I'm going to do something big, I better do it now.
Yeah, right.
And what people, when they really talk about a through hike, they mean things like the Appalachian Trail or the Pacific Crest Trail or, these big trails that are, thousands of miles long. and would take months to complete, and then would become this sort of full-time job or a lifestyle.
Right,
You know, you're going to
right.
put your whole thing into this. And so I thought, I really want to do that, you know, and I have this job, dang it, you know, and if I play that one Beethoven overture one more time, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah,
you know?
right, exactly.
And so,
Right, exactly.
And so I loved my work, but it was, you know, it was getting kind of samey. And I was determined to do this thing. And I also thought that if I chose something like the Appalachian Trail, I mean, you know, it's right here. It's in the United States. I could go anytime.
Everyone
blah, blah, blah.
speaks English.
I need to go somewhere far and exotic.
Yeah.
But also, it would cost me so much money to get there. There is no way I would quit. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? Call home? I got to come home?
Right.
You know, you're
No.
going to stay.
Get an Uber?
Yeah, you
No.
can't.
No.
So I was looking up, like, what are the best long trails in the world? It's like the Te Araroa. What's the Te Araroa? Te Araroa is...
Te Araroa.
Te Araroa. You have to say it with like this.
Te Araroa.
The Te Araroa, well, it's not the Te, it's Te Araroa.
Te is the.
Te is
probably,
the,
yeah.
and Araroa's long pathway, and
Oh,
it's New
okay.
Zealand's Appalachian Trail.
Wow.
So it's almost 2,000 miles. It's 3,000 kilometers, North and South Island.
Wow.
And I was determined. And I remember keeping it kind of secret. Like, I'm not going to do this.
Because
And
you would need months to do that.
months to do that.
Yeah.
And I remember we were all, I used to do a lot of rock climbing, and we were at a campsite up on the North Shore, and we were all sitting around the fire. And I said, guys, I want to do this thing. I want to hike this. How the heck am I going to do it? And someone said, why don't you just ask for a leave of absence from your job?
Oh.
A leave of absence from your job. It never even occurred to me.
Yeah.
So I asked for a leave of absence from my job, and they said yes.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of me.
And then
there was that.
and then there was that. So you get a leave of absence. You sell your flute.
Oh my God.
You sell your fancy flute.
So after I got dystonia, I mean, it sucked so bad. I was really depressed. But I gave my music away. I sold stuff. I'm never going to listen to music again. I mean, that didn't last long. And I kept my professional flute. And I was
Yeah.
like, I have no idea why. It was, you know, and it's valuable. And I didn't really play it. People would say, don't you play for fun? And it's like, this is not fun. to
No,
have your
because you were
hands-
so used to the certain level
It's
that
not
you could
fun,
play.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I kept it, and Richard and I were actually hiking on the Superior Hiking Trail, and I thought, how the heck am I going to go to New Zealand? I mean, I've asked for a leave of absence. Okay, I'm going to do that, but it's expensive. And I realized my flute
The flute.
is worth exactly as much as I needed.
Whoa. Whoa.
So I sold it.
Yeah.
And you know what was really great? I sold it to an adult student of
Yeah.
mine who plays it. Like, she's an engineer, but she plays it in an orchestra, and she, you know,
It has a new life.
It has a new life.
Yeah,
She sounds
yeah, yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. Well, so okay, so you do the te da 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 da. The da da da. So you do that. You're gone for 4 or 5 months, and you come back, and they go, actually, we've made a change in your job,
Yeah, they asked me to be on call.
and you're going to be on call now, and it's like, that doesn't maybe work for me.
Well, I did one call. I did one, an overnight.
Yeah.
And they called me up, you know, would you be willing to come, you know, you arrive to work to start at 11 at night, and you work till 6 in the morning. Did I say that loud enough?
Who is listening there?
Well, it's carried worldwide because it's
I
on
see.
a service.
Okay. So, yeah.
But I did one overnight, and you know, I mean, it's what I do, and I can do it. And then I said no,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you walked away from that as well.
Oh yeah, and Richard, my loving husband, said to me, I was really not happy when I
Yeah,
came
I
home.
bet.
I mean, I could have just stayed in New Zealand longer, but I came home and thought I'd have a job, and I didn't. But anyway,
Yeah.
But he said, you know what you need to do right now because you're depressed? First of all, you need to find your joy, right?
Yeah.
And he said, the way you're going to find your joy is you're going to go right back on trail. And I was like, wait, I've been gone for 5 months.
Yeah.
And you're telling me to go back?
And my husband is telling me to go away again.
So he said, there's another trail you really want to do. And
Yeah.
I said, yeah, the Pacific Crest Trail, which is California, Oregon, Washington. It's another one of the very famous national scenic trails of the United States.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to do it. And he said, I was like, what are people going to think? You know what? my
never-
reputation. I mean, and he said, no one, first of all, no one cares. No one gives up. No one cares. And you are 100% boss free.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're right. So I was still in the state of, confusion. Everything would, like the world was shifting. I was crying all the time.
Of course.
And I bought a one-way ticket to Seattle, took a bus to Bellingham, Washington, met some trail angels who took me up to Hart Pass, and I started walking south on the Pacific Crest Trail in Washington. And Richard said, if she picks up, I sent some food ahead in boxes, resupplies, what we call it. And he said, if she picks up her second resupply, she's going to do the whole thing.
And you did.
And I did.
Wow. And how long did that take?
5 months.
Okay, so now you're a professional hiker. You have a podcast called The Blissful Hiker. It's amazing. And she's got all these, she's got all these, she takes these beautiful pictures of these gorgeous vistas and these unique mushrooms and all this stuff in between. And then you record found sound.
Found sound.
You have a sample.
I have a sample.
She's just going to hold it up to a microphone.
The setting sun pancakes into the clouds, orange and pink. Fog that hung over the water this morning and delayed my trip is gone now. Only a memory in washed-out haze on the horizon, fading into the slate blue cliffs of Canada.
Cool. Okay, so obviously she's got her beautiful voice there. But so you've got your phone and you're recording on your phone.
Yeah.
How do you keep your phone charged?
Oh, everyone asks that. Oh, my God. Okay.
I know, but I'm sorry. It's kind of like, how do you learn all those lines? I know it's going to be a stupid question, but it's like,
no, it's not.
How
a
do you
stupid
keep your
question.
phone charged? And what did they do? What did Lewis and Clark do? They didn't have a thing.
They had
Or maybe they did.
They pressed people into service. I only carry, it's an iPhone. Yeah, okay. I only carry a phone and I have a battery. So a lot of people ask, like, why don't you use solar power? And it's because I don't totally trust it. I mean, you may have lots of sunny days, but you may not have enough.
And you have to put the solar thing on your backpack?
You put it on your backpack, yeah. And I mean,
What about a
work
windmill?
great.
You could have a windmill thing?
So I have a battery, and then you have to go into town. And when I did this hike of Isle Royale, I hiked for 9 days, and that's like the absolute max power of this. It's a battery.
Wow,
about
but
this
that's
big.
pretty cool. That's a lot.
Pretty cool, yeah. So it charges my phone. Well, I mean, you have everything turned off, so you don't use a ton of power.
No, you're right.
But you have the phone, I have a GPS so that it has an SOS in case I'm in trouble, and I can communicate with Richard through that as well. So I have to charge those both up. One of the things I wanted to say about the phone that's always interesting to me is when I'm walking, I'm constantly on the lookout for stuff. I'm looking for that joy.
Clearly.
I'm looking for those joyful
Yeah.
things. Like you said, the fungus, some days it's so rainy and so miserable that when you see these beautiful red, creepy little mushrooms, it's exciting. It's a wonderful moment.
Yeah.
But, people will say, oh, but then you're looking for a picture and you're not just in the moment. It's like, no. That's not it at all. When you have your ears open to hear that sound or your eyes to take a picture or a video or yourself, in front of something, you're framing the entire experience.
Yeah.
And you're on the lookout for it. You're so super hyper present in the moment. It makes it richer. And I love sound. I mean, because of flute, because of radio.
Yeah, sure, of course.
I love the sounds that are around me, and they do surprise me. I mean, especially in spring.
You've got some beautiful ones, some birds and all kind of stuff. You also talk about when you hike on these really, really long hikes, and sometimes you're doing 22 miles a day or all this stuff. You don't listen to anything.
No
earbuds, no podcasts, no music. And you're just in the moment.
Yeah.
And does it get boring?
So it gets hard sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Hard. You get in your head a lot.
Yeah.
But these miraculous things can happen on trails. And I had a pretty rough summer last summer. I was going to do a lot of hiking. And then in May, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I was like, shit. I thought, okay, come on, enough now. Dystonia. My list of blissful hiker, solo female, middle-aged, titanium. It gets really long.
It gets so nuts because now you have cancer
titanium,
thriver at the end.
Titanium hips, neurological. And so I was kind of pissed. I thought, this isn't it enough? I've had like one terrible thing. Do I have to have more? And they were doing all this stuff. They did a surgery and like, we're going to figure this out. We don't know what it is. And I had a plane ticket to go to Maine.
You were going to start the Appalachian Trail.
The Appalachian Trail,
yeah.
in Maine, which was crazy. And my doctor said to me, she was so great. She said, the best thing for your prognosis is, like my husband, get back on trail. You're 100% boss free. Get back on trail.
Well, because you said you've always found the hiking to be very healing.
Yeah.
So you start that, but you had a lumpectomy to find out.
I had a lumpectomy.
They didn't know if it was cancer yet.
No, and then I got the call, and she said,
2 weeks
come
in, you were
home.
already on the trail for 2 weeks, and you get a call.
Yeah, and they said it's the bad kind, so you got to come home and got to pull these off.
So you have a double mastectomy.
So I have so I am an ultra light hiker. I love it. I love it. I know.
Okay, so here's the thing. So she comes home, she gets a double mastectomy, she heals. 4 months later, she is back.
7 weeks.
Wait, how long you're back on the trail, and how long after having a double mastectomy and all the kind of stuff?
7
weeks.
Yeah.
That is crazy pants.
It was a little bit crazy pants. And the problem with the Appalachian Trail this year is that it was the worst weather in memory. I mean, you notice how we're having no snow?
Yeah.
Maine and Vermont, they had flooding rain. I mean, one hiker, God rest in peace, it was washed away. I mean, died. So, yeah.
Yes, right. We were talking about that.
Terrifying.
Yes. Right.
But for, a hiker going there and thinking, oh, this is going to be so, spiritual, and I'm going to reach my happy place. It was pouring rain and miserable.
Yeah.
And you're walking over the top of something. You've worked so hard to get to the view, and it's just fog. And you can't stop at all, even to have a snack, because you'll freeze, right?
Right. And you got to keep moving.
You just got to keep moving. So one of the weird things that happened on the Appalachian Trail, and all these things like the cancer and yucky stuff, and I bring these things to the trail.
Oh, you do?
I bring them, and I say I'm speaking to the goddess. It could be wisdom, it could be like the smarter part of me. It's some voice, it's something.
Yeah.
And the conversation is my voice going back and forth. It's, what am I supposed to do? Well, here's what you should do.
Go to the Toyota.
Yeah, go to the Toyota. So I remember,
so you're having a dialogue with yourself out on the trail?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no one's there. No one cares. Yeah. And it is rock climbing. You stuff your sticks into your pack and you're using your hands.
Yeah.
It's easy to go up. You can just fling your body. Coming down.
Right.
You can wipe out. It's so, and you hold on to things, and I'm just slipping, and I'm going on and on with this. And I say I could either do A, I could do B, I could do C. And I'm going, and then all of a sudden, Maya Lynn, why don't you do D? This fourth.
Wow.
Something you never thought of.
Yes.
So, there is scientific studies about, the actual footfall, and it brings the blood to the brain. It kind of massages our creativity, our thinking.
Yeah.
And so, walking is good for you, but that's what I do when I'm really bored.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like what you said. You're bringing the issues, you're bringing the struggles, you're bringing your frustrations, you're bringing your anger with you on the trail. You're releasing it on the trail.
Yeah, I leave it there.
And or finding the next step. You talked about the 3 pillars that you strive to.
Oh, I wrote them on my hand so I wouldn't forget.
I have them here. I am here too.
So I keep going back and forth between. I've been writing these different things, and one was about the pillars of reinvention, and sort of the things I learned from trail. And what were they again? Oh yeah. So I gave this talk recently to the Forbes Councils, and I said the first thing was accepting, was saying that things are changing. Yeah. Because there's kind of a risk taking in that of what's going to happen next. It's the unknown. And you've sort of crossed the threshold in a way, kind of like what you were talking about earlier, Katie, with you've stepped into something once you've said it. And then the next thing was to grieve. Yeah. So I love this. It's Viktor Frankl. He was the Auschwitz survivor who was a psychologist and pioneer in that entire field. And he talked about the tears that people had, and that there's no shame in having those tears because they're brave enough to be alive. Yeah. They're brave enough to be fully alive and living and present in the grief. Yes. So that was the second. And then the final one was to believe in abundance, believe that there's more. And the person that said that to me was when I was all teary and everything's going to hell. My husband said to me, give everything away. You'll make more. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, talk about a paradigm shift. Right. That, you can lose things. You can let go of that. The flute, I miss it. It was a great time. but there's more to
Right.
have. There's more that
Well,
you're
you
needed
found
for.
so much more, and what's so wonderful is I know that you've got the podcast and you do these long hikes, and then her blogs, her writing, you're so honest and they're so wonderful and they're so revealing. Sometimes you just say, I don't know how I can keep doing this. I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm having a horrible day, or you break down weeping, and then the next thing it's like, oh my God, look at the view from the top of this mountain. And it's funny, I read all this stuff or I listen to this thing. On one hand, I'm thinking, ick, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do it. It's too, I couldn't do it. On the other hand, I think, I want to do an adventure like that. To me, I think you instill, it's like, well, I want to try that. Of course, my husband goes, you?
They don't
Mrs.
have
Mulch?
much mulch. Yeah, there's not much mulch out there.
Can I bring the mulch with me? Anyway, you bring this sort of the joy out of the hardships or out of this reinvention. I mean, if anybody has reinvented yourself from this to this to this, oh, and then there's the cancer too, by the way. Oh, did we tell you that? Yeah, there's that too. And it's just, you're such an inspiration. I know that's easy to say, but I truly, truly believe it. You're an inspiration and a motivator. Thank you. You're very motivator. Thank you. Allison Young. Allison Young. That's our show for tonight, everybody. That's our show. Thank you so much. Thank you again to Allison Young.